I'm Sensei Frank, and welcome to Tech Tiger Martial Arts. As we begin to develop the move Delayed Sword, it's going to be increasingly important for us to understand what we're trying to accomplish and why we are doing the things that we are doing. You see, in any physical confrontation between two individuals, either one or both people are saying to themselves, I can control you, but you can't control me. Or in other words, what they're saying is, I can make you do what I want, but there's nothing you can do about it. In the mindset of the martial artist, though, it's all about self-control. The martial artist is saying to himself, I can stay in control of myself, I'm in control of my own body, and through that, I can control you. And Delayed Sword is an excellent example of how true self-defense is all about self-control. Let's begin. Hi, I'm Sensei Frank.
And I'm Sam.
And welcome to Tech Tiger Martial Arts. And today we're working on what we're trying to accomplish with Delayed Sword and why we're doing the things that we're doing. Now, as I begin to attack Sam with a right-handed lapel grab, the question is asked, who has control, me or Sam? Well, I do. I could push him, I could pull him, or I could shake him or just hold him here. If Sam moves around, he has very little to no effect on me, very little effect on me. So Sam needs to do one thing to start to nullify my attack and develop self-control. And the way he does that is simply by grabbing my hand and pinning it to his chest and dropping his weight. Now, when he drops his weight, my arm is now starting to struggle to hold him. Sam is only as strong as he is strong, fast as he is fast, heavy as he is heavy. But by dropping his weight, now my right arm has to contend with his whole body. From here, he needs to continue to develop his self-control. So he slides back and he pulls that elbow into his ribs. Now he's stretching the arm and I'm trying to hold him. I have to hold his weight now. And this becomes a real struggle. But for Sam, he's developed his fighting forward bow stance, which means this is the first major self-control position that Sam can have. What do I mean by that? If I pull Sam, he can resist a lot better, a lot more effectively. If I push him, he can resist a lot more effectively. So Sam is developing true self-control over his body. But Sam has a secret. He has a right arm. And that right arm, when he starts to engage the right hand by pushing the face, he has now multiplied his strength so that when I push, it becomes very difficult. But when I'm pulling, it becomes very difficult. So self-control is the first key aspect. And getting into that fighting forward bow stance with that extended arm, that straight arm bar, and pulling that arm gives you a lot of strength, balance, and power. Sam, can we see a fighting forward stance, please? And do the bow and arrow technique. The full power of his chest, the full power of his back, the legs, the hip, and his core are all being engaged in this fighting forward bow stance. Can you please stand sideways? As I push, he can resist. As I pull, he can resist. Sam now has true balance. He can absorb these shots. He can maneuver. Sam, do a little bit of movement, please. He can move around. Very good. And that's the first thing you're looking for is true self-control, taking control of your own body. Now the next aspect is starting to develop true control over our attack. So once again, as I grab Sam, he pins that arm, pulls that elbow in, makes it heavy on my arm. He steps back to that fighting forward stance, pushes against the face. Now I'm struggling to what? To gain control of myself. From this position, Sam is going to shift his weight into a fighting horse stance and drop that hammer fist, which brings me in. Sam not only is developing more control of his body with speed and power now, but he's also starting to manipulate me. From this position, he's going to snap into that cat stance with that rising elbow block. Can you please face forward, Sam, and do a cat stance rising elbow block? This position is vital because it's a transitional movement, which means is that he's on the ball of his foot. Go on your toes, Sam. This is not a cat stance. I can simply push him and he's off balance. Go on that ball on that foot again. But if I push here, he can move. Once again, please, Sam. Or if I pull him, he can move. He has balance through that position. So face me, please. So as I grab, he goes through steps 1, 2, 3. And now he drops his weight and makes me come into him. This elbow can be caught under the chin to snap the attacker's head back. Once again, please. Pushes, strikes, boom. That elbow, you could catch the attacker under the chin. But that's not the only thing that could happen. As Sam goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, this hand of the attacker might be right here, and as he comes into that fighting horse stance, he could duck. But this cat stance now sets up the high knee lift. Boom. And Sam can hit the person in the face with the high knee. As long as you're paying attention by looking at the attacker the whole time, you, in the middle of the situation, can see and understand what's going on. And if you have that self-control, the control of your body, you can respond correctly. Let's continue. I grab Sam, he pins, he pushes, he strikes. Elbow, boom. High knee lift, now he kicks. Boom. Now this kick, what it does to me is it really puts him into a very comfortable, balanced position, a lot of control, but now I'm injured. Now Sam has really taken control over me. I'm the one in trouble now. And in this position, he can step in, back knuckle, boom. Post action of the fight, and he can ask,
have you had enough yet?
and if I say no, he can continue to do the move again as many times as he needs. From this position, he can ask once again,
have you had enough yet?
yes, and then push me away, take a couple of steps back, look around, stay in control of what's going on, and he would have succeeded through the move. That is the power of true self-control, developing control over your own physical body with a clean mind of understanding what you're trying to accomplish and how you're trying to accomplish it. You can become very powerful. I'm Sensei Frank.
And I'm Sam.
And we'll see you next time at Tech Tiger Martial Arts.
Bye.
See you later. Keep doing some. Here we go.
Yeah.